Bee is a wonderful creature. I am assured that the following facts about bee will surprise you. There are just 3 types of honey bees: queens, workers and drones. Male bees in the hive are called drones. Only female bees can sting. Male bees don't have stingers. Losing its stinger will cause a bee to die. Other than the queen, all bees defecate outside the hive. Bees are insects, so they have 6 legs. The average worker bee produces only about 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in her lifetime. Honeybees have 5 eyes. 2 large compound eyes and 3 smaller ocelli eyes on the top of their head. Bees have 2 stomachs, one for eating, and one for storing nectar and processing it into honey. Bees communicate with each other by dancing. This waggle dance informs other bees about the direction and distance to nectar sources. A single hive can house up to 80,000 bees during the summer months. Bees are capable of recognizing human faces. The queen bee can lay up to 2,000 eggs per day during the peak of the breeding season. Bees can fly at speeds of up to 15 miles per hour. An average hive has 50,000 to 60,000 worker bees. The honey bee is the only insect that produces food for humans. The reason bees are so noisy is because they beat their wings 11,400 times in 1 minute, about 200 times per second, creating the characteristic buzzing sound. Bees are essential pollinators for many crops, including fruits, vegetables, and nuts. A bee must visit about 2 million flowers and fly over 55,000 miles to make 1 pound of honey. Honeybees can see ultraviolet light. Bees have been depicted in art and mythology for thousands of years, symbolizing industry, cooperation, and fertility. Some species of bees, like the bumblebee, can regulate their body temperature and vibrate their flight muscles to warm up during cold weather. Bees have been trained to detect explosives and drugs due to their keen sense of smell. Bees are capable of recognizing different colors and patterns, which helps them locate flowers and navigate back to the hive. Honey bees have 170 odorant receptors and have a sense of smell 50 times more powerful than a dog. Some species of bees, like the solitary mason bee, do not live in colonies but instead nest individually in small holes or crevices. Bees are responsible for pollinating approximately 1/3 of the food we eat. The decline in bee populations has led to concerns about food security and biodiversity, prompting conservation efforts and research into bee health and habitat protection. Bees can sense the hormone a human gives off when they're scared. If they feel their hive is threatened, they'll attack. Every bee colony has its own distinct scent, or pheromones, so that members can identify each other. During the late summer when nectar is scarce, some desperate bees will turn to hive robbing to keep their colonies alive. Honey is 25% sweeter than sugar. Dark honey typically has more antioxidant properties than light honey. A healthy bee colony can create 60 to 100 pounds of honey each year. Ancient Egyptians used honey as a means of paying taxes. Honey making is not an inherited trait. Young worker bees are taught how to make honey by their elders. Honey is antibacterial, antimicrobial, and anti-inflammatory. It can be used to help treat wounds. Bees navigate using the sun as we would a compass, and because they can see polarized light, are able to find their way even on cloudy days. There is some evidence that bees are also sensitive to the Earth's magnetism and may use it to navigate as well. Each honey bee from the same hive has their own specific color identification. Honey bees do sleep, but when they sleep, how deeply, and for how long depends on their age and role within the hive. Foragers typically sleep at night, and they sleep more deeply than their hive worker bee, known as house bees, counterparts. Foragers are typically older bees, and their work takes place during the day. House bees are younger bees, and their duties are necessary day and night. Therefore, they sleep whenever they can over a 24-hour period. Cumulatively, bees sleep between 5 to 8 hours, but these are broken up into as many as 40 to 50 naps per day. Eating honey makes you smarter. It has an antioxidant that improves brain functions.